Hello, welcome to a special video where we're going to talk about one of our newest releases, reimbursements. Reimbursements brings a new layer into FlipAlert that we haven't had before. Historically, FlipAlert has been super focused on sourcing new products, mainly Amazon to Amazon, but of course, as we've expanded, Walmart and eBay as well. Reimbursements kind of gives us that first look into what FlipAlert is going to become, which is more of an all-in-one tool, more for back-end work as well as front end. So sourcing, but also managing your inventory, managing your leads, and of course, reimbursement type related work where it's kind of just maintenance to ensure that everything in your health account is going all right. So when you log in, you are going to have access to the reimbursements tab, which is on the bottom left. To gain access to the actual information reimbursements, you need to do one thing first, and that's going to be linking your Amazon seller account to FlipAlert. Now, we've done this through the proper channels, which means we have an authorized app with Amazon, similar to how Inventory Labs works, similar to how any of these kind of like RevSeller works. So this is nothing new, nothing that you have to be particularly concerned about. We don't gain immediate access to like your address or your email or anything like that nefarious wise. We have specific requests that we put in to gain information so that we can specifically show you information here on this reimbursements section. We also are going to use that information for future modules like the ungating area and things that are coming later into April. Once you're connected though, once you get approved, you can come back to reimbursements and we're going to load in all of your information. So we're looking for mainly four things. And what we've done here is, we're all Amazon sellers, and over the years, been selling now for 9 years. I've had a lot of issues when it comes to inventory, as we all likely have. And most of the time, you had two options. It was either, all right, I'm going to service everything myself, and that's through downloading reports on Amazon Seller Central or hiring a VA, right? Something internal. You're going to look through reports, you're going to create cases, you're going to fight for claims. Your other option, which was very popular, is you're going to pay some service to do it for you. So you're going to link up to a service like Getida or any of these other ones. You're going to connect your Amazon seller account to that service. They're going to then run those reports for you. They're going to service information and they're going to submit your claims. It's really great. It is pretty straightforward. I've used services like that as well. You do pay a premium, right? So you end up paying anywhere from 10 to 20% of whatever they get reimbursed back to the service for doing that. And we've also heard, and of course, in my own experience, there are some misses, right? There are some things that they don't always get to see or they can't tackle. And so what we wanted to do here is bring you the power of their system, but giving you full control to actually submit the cases. This eliminates your need to pay a percentage, so you're no longer going to pay any percentage to get your money back without having to then sift through all the reports and anything that you need to do in Seller Central. You can, of course, still have a VA help you, but this is going to greatly reduce the amount of time you spend actually doing it. So once you get hooked on, we're going to look for four different areas for reimbursements. We have FBA shipment discrepancies, we have inventory lost or misplaced, we have inventory damaged, and we have inventory destroyed. You are going to automatically be selected on the FBA shipments discrepancies. This is likely one of your bigger ones or more routine ones. And this is when you create an FBA shipment to go to Amazon. You pack up your box and you ship it off. Amazon then receives your box, they start unpacking it, and lo and behold, you shipped 50 items and Amazon claims they only received 47. And this is nothing new to anyone that's done FBA before. What you would historically do is you would go into your FBA shipments section in Seller Central, you would review the FBA shipments, and you would wait for them to mark as closed, right? So they would be receiving. Usually what's supposed to happen is if Amazon receives fewer than what is recorded shipped, they kind of proactively open some kind of claim internally. I find most of the time that they close them and say, listen, you only sent us 45 and not 50. And then there is a window of time where you can submit an appeal and try to get reimbursed. The window of time to get reimbursed across these four varies. It can be as little as 60 days. It can be as long as 10 months. We have done that work in the background for you. So if you are seeing something on the screen, that means that you are still in the window of eligibility. And we are actually going to push you to have a little bit of an urgency on those cases that may be expiring soon to ensure that you are able to submit before you lose the opportunity to do so. So we have some mock data here. As you can see, in this situation, there are 4 SKUs that we shipped in, all from varying shipments over the last 3 or 4 months. You can see the item that was shipped, how many we shipped to Amazon, how many were part of our shipment plan, how many Amazon says that they received in that shipment plan, and then the discrepancy, the unit cost, which we'll talk about in a second, and then the actual claim value, what we believe that you are owed if you were to submit a claim. So this information here is like what was shipped, what was received, discrepancy, the item, all of that is going to be proactive. We're going to do all that for you. As soon as you're connected to your seller account in here, we're going to look once a day and we're going to pull all that information in and we're going to show it to you right here. The information that we may not have is unit cost, and we'll get to that and we'll tell you exactly how you can input that so that you know exactly how much money they may owe you, and it helps with planning around your appeals. When you're ready to make an appeal, all you do is you click whichever one that you want to start with. You're going to see a pop up here on the right, and it's going to look very similar every time, right? Because we've tried to standardize as best we can, so that what we have historically learned has worked for us. We just kind of give you the blueprint to do yourself. And again, this is mock data, so this picture is going to load here. This is actually not even the official tutorial. I just wanted to get this out so you understand how it works, because it is live, and we're just doing some tinkering now on the back end to make it a little bit better. So you're going to see the exact shipment that's in question. And then you're going to have this kind of copy and pasted information that we have for you that you can just click copy here. The thing that you will need to do that we don't currently have solved, which we will, is you will still need, of course, access to your invoices or receipts, something to prove that, hey, you did purchase this inventory, and here's what you paid, right? And that's really all Amazon wants to see, right? So we're going to make an appeal. We're going to say, hey, I've attached proof of ownership documents. That's those receipts or invoices for all units in the shipment. So that's this specific shipment. Please investigate the units missing from this shipment. Thank you. Super simple, super short. Ideally, what you're going to then send, and you can see here, update proof of ownership documents. These documents requirements are typically less strict than when gating. So again, we're not trying to get ungated. We don't need to worry about, it being an official, the same level of invoice that Amazon requires for ungating, but it does need to have some type of, hey, this is what was purchased and this is the price. We're submitting invoices, retail receipts, email order confirmations, etc. For full list, check stubs too on the shipment summary page. So that's going to be on the Amazon page itself. So you would click this button here. It would load that shipment summary page, which is going to be on Amazon Seller Central. You would then choose the dropdown research missing units. As you can see right here, we show you a picture. You're going to then upload whatever invoice receipts you have. You'll then copy and paste this over into the template message that they have, and you'll click submit. There will be a new button here, which is not currently here yet, called submitted, and then you can just click that and you'll know that you've submitted it. You're going to then move down the list and do this for every single open order that you have in this particular section. Once something is resolved, so Amazon pays you, then all you can do is you can come back in here and click resolve, and that's going to move it to your resolve field, and then you'll know exactly what was already completed and how much money you received back. The next section is the inventory and lost and misplaced, right? So this is after Amazon has received the inventory. So they did, hey, we received your box. It's all here. Great. Somewhere between receipt and selling, Amazon misplaced it. Same process. So you can see the quantity. This is the quantity that they have actually misplaced. The reason is not applicable to you. We have it here. This is kind of Amazon's reasons, what they use in their backend. We just surfaced it for you in case you were curious. It doesn't really mean anything in how we go about submitting these claims. So you can just click here. Here are the IDs. So this is the IDs of the transaction. And again, this picture is going to load in a second. So you're going to go to the Fulfillment Center Operations claim page. You're going to paste these IDs in, which is specific to the IDs for that particular product and it's lost. Paste this message into the text box. So this is where you would paste it. Check warehouse damage reimbursement status. Paste them here. Next, paste the following message into the text box. You'll click this. You'll submit. Wait for Amazon to process the case, and just click create case. And that's all you need to do. You can actually do this in bulk. I think you can do it for up to 20 cases in one submission. So if you have a bunch here, hello. All right, if you can believe it, I recorded a 18-minute video all about reimbursements, and 10 minutes in, My audio died. So this is part two. I'm gonna splice the first 10 minutes of the first video, and I'm gonna smack this one on the end. And I'm hoping it's as good as the first time I did it. I also apologize if there's a little bit of overlap repeating of what I'm talking about because I'm trying to mirror it up with what I said earlier. But I believe it cut out when I was talking about the inventory and lost misplaced section, and I think I was just at the end explaining that hey, you can post up to 20 of these at a time into Amazon and ask to be reimbursed for these. I'm going to be a little bit faster this time. Inventory damaged, inventory destroyed are very much the same as inventory lost. There's just different reasons. So damaged is, of course, it's in the warehouse. Amazon damaged it. And then destroyed is it like they have it, but man, is it not something that you would even want to look at. Both of these get surfaced differently. Same process. You can click these and you can submit the claim right here. And then similarly for destroyed. The FBM carrier claims, this is not live yet. This will be live this week, so the first week of April. And this is going to help you track down issues with your FBM orders. So if a customer makes an order for an FBM product, you ship it through any means, Amazon, Vico, whatever. We're going to track that order for you. And if there is an issue with it where it's lost or there's an exception or it gets damaged, we're going to show you that here based on the tracking information that whatever carrier you chose is providing. And then we're going to help you submit a claim to that carrier to recoup the lost funds. You know how annoying this can be if you've done it before. And it's like a two-step annoyance. Number one is like understanding that it's happening proactively without your customer having to reach out to you. And number two is actually submitting the claim. So we're trying to solve both of those right here. That'll be live very, very soon, potentially when you're watching this video, but certainly by the end of that first week of April. The separate section here is inventory. So if we go back to claims for just 1 second, we talked about the unit cost, and the unit cost is how much you paid for the product. And that's going to help us help you understand the value of your claims. Well, you can do a couple things. You can input your unit cost right here on the claims page. So if a claim comes in and we don't understand or we don't know the cost of the product, it's going to come in at 0. You can click this little pencil and you can edit it here. You can also edit it right here in the inventory section. The inventory section is a master list of all the inventory you have with Amazon. So FBM and FBA. And a full list, and you can come through and update your unit cost. We are working on being able to pull this unit cost from maybe whatever software you're already using, if it's Inventory Labs or something else. And we also though have a pretty nifty AI layer here. So if you're like me and your SKU contains your unit cost. So for example, when I buy something and I list it, my SKU is always where I bought it, how much I paid, how many I purchased, and the date I purchased it. So it'd be like Target, $5 to March 2nd, 2026. So if you do that, um, we will use AI, which we already have built in, and we're going to try to extract your buy cost from your SKU. And I know a lot of people put their buy cost in their SKU. So it'll look like this. It'll say, hey, AI price was parsed, and it'll automatically load any unit cost. I did look at mine personally, so this is obviously mock data. I looked at my personal one, and it was 100% correct. It captured all of my buy cost correctly from my SKU. If you don't have it in your SKU, then you will, of course, either need to manually do it or wait for us to have some integration. I think manual, if you want it done ASAP is the way to go. Otherwise, we're going to show you a bunch of really valuable information in here. We kind of bury it, to be honest. We have how many you've sent in over the course of like ever, right? As long as the SKU is in there. This is a combination of all of the cents. So maybe 4 shipments worth. How many is received? How many are currently available, reserved, unfulfilled? How many you've sold? How many claimable, right? Reimbursable, unclaimed, etc. So how many returns? Some just like top line data that you might want on your particular SKUs. And then even more buried, which as soon as I saw this, I was like, no, we need to pull this out. So this is getting its own module soon. We have an economics page per SKU. So if you want to know exactly how your Clark's shoe is doing, SKU economic level, which is incredibly valuable when you're trying to decide what you want to repurchase, or if something was even profitable to begin with. Because we know our profit when we buy something, right? When we buy something, we've done a lot of math. We're like, oh, I can buy this. I get 30% ROI based on the current trends, etc. Like you have a pretty good idea when you make the purchase. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't then go backwards and like, well, how did that pan out? Like, was I actually as profitable as I thought on that product? What was my return rate? Kind of all said and done, what was the actual number? And this is that, plus some other things. So we can go back, let's say over the last 365 days, the last year of this data, for whatever we have, right? So right now we only have through January of this mock data. But if you have going back a year, we'll show you the full year. And we'll show you all of the sales that we've sold 21 of this product in that period of time. We've had one returned. So of course we actually only sold 20 that we can say is profit that we got net. Here's our sales, our net proceeds, because we have the amount of fees Amazon charges us, how much it's cost us in COGS, our total costs, etc. How much money we're making per unit. Scroll down here, we can see our return rate. So that's super vital. I mean, for a shoe, 4.5%. Awesome. Sign me up for that. We have our ROI and our margin. We also have our days till out of stock. So this is say, hey, like this is how many units you currently have in stock now. This is how many you're kind of selling on a daily basis. This is what we believe to be your out of stock, the amount of time it'll take to go out of stock if nothing changes. We also give you a buy box percent. So it's not listed here because in this mock data, but in the live data, when you click on this, you'll actually see buy box, and that's your current buy box share or the per share you've had of buy box over the time period that you chose in your date range. And then we'll link it to shipments so you can see exactly when you shipped this inventory in, when it was received, and the inventory ledger, which is like if you like data, man, you're gonna love the inventory ledger. This is pulled directly from Amazon. Amazon buries it. We wanted to make it super apparent for you guys. So this is legitimately every time any product from this SKU does anything, Amazon tracks it in the ledger and we track it for you here. So was it moved between warehouses? Was it shipped to a customer? Was the return received? Like you'll know what I'm talking about once you get in here. It is just going to be a massive list of every time that SKU has done anything, moved around. And it's really, really handy to understand if things are getting lost or where things are, or like why you aren't getting sales, because maybe you're not getting sales because all of your inventory is in warehouse transfers. Well, you don't really have an easy way of telling that. We're going to help you understand that now. So that is the inventory section. Units reimbursable up here. This is the total amount of units that we have serviced for you under claims and the total value. So this is how much money Amazon owes you. Close to unclaimable. This is how many of those claims are not going to be claimable soon. And we talked about you have a certain window of time to make claims. We're changing the language here because I think it's a little confusing. We're going to make it super, super obvious for you. Like, hey, if you don't act quickly, you are going to lose out on $2,000 because that window is going to close for you to be able to make that claim. And then, of course, you can search and you can look at kind of some ranks. The archive section, this is claims that have been archived, and then this is cases that have been closed. So that is the reimbursements for FlipAlert. We are, I mean, jazzed is the word I'm going to use to get this out to you. Kind of a little, we haven't made the official announcement yet, so secret. I'm not going to say who, although if you're smart enough, if you're smart and you have used them before, you'll definitely know. We have this in here because we actually acquired another company who had it first, and we loved it so much that we just bought the company. And we know how effective this can be. This was live with them for a while. People absolutely raved about it, and we wanted to put our own spin on it, but keep it at its core very similar because of how great it already was. And so based on that, I know that you guys are going to love it. I know it's going to save you a lot of money. You're going to get a lot of money back. Any feedback, though, I'd love to hear it. So please let us know. And I said over the next week or so, we are going to make some minor adjustments to this. I'm going to make a more official tutorial, not in my pajamas, when everything is done. But since it is live, I wanted you to understand how it works so that you could start it today if you wanted. You can come in here, link your seller account, and get going. The other updates that we did at the same time as this is our gating checker, which we'll make a separate video about. eBay is also back to being live. Walmart, of course, is live. We just have a bunch of stuff that is actively in the works that, yeah, April's going to be a big month for us. It's going to be a big month for you guys. And as always, there's no extra cost here. Like, we're just going to keep pumping stuff out to try to give you the most value you can, and make sure that you're happy. So if you have any feedback, things that you want to see, things that you don't like, things that you love, please do let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.